you both might have a different viewpoint. Our job is going to be to bring you both in a way together to make the best investment decision.
Sometimes the time is right when the time is right. He is somebody I met in 2017. He always wanted to start with an investment in the Dubai market. And 2024 is what it was for him. He, along with another friend of his, wanted to really take a look at the Dubai market again and really start investing. So what we ended up doing is have them sign up on the Dubai Wealth Builder program. And it's a little bit of a challenge trying to get two friends who might think alike, can also think differently sometimes. Him and both of his friends were then escorted along into a strategy session. We then went on to help them virtually select properties, qualify based on the criteria that we established. One of them then visited Dubai. We went physically to see the properties, the different showrooms, and get a feel of the areas and the locations so that we could then make better decisions. The process took about maybe a month to 2 months, but the good thing is they win by getting the best property. Dubai wins by getting a great customer, great client. We win because we get to service them, and the real estate market in Dubai wins overall.
I'm joking. I know something. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Are we live? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are live on a Saturday morning. Got your questions. We're going to answer all of them, or as many as we can. And then we've got some questions for investors and agents. We're going to go through them all. Everybody who's live watching on YouTube, welcome. Everybody on Instagram, welcome. What is this? What does this mean? Can you guys hear me? Salam, just in time. How are you, Fahd? MS Ansari, salamu alaikum. Brother, how are you? MS Ansari, who used to be formerly MSA, who could have been the MSA when I was going to university, used to be the short form for the Muslim Students Association. But of course, in this scenario, MSA stands for MS Ansari. Assalamu alaikum. Very nice meeting you, brother. Very nice, and welcome to Ehsan. Everybody who's watching on Instagram, Muhammad Isa, Layla, Abi, Sri, Ikram, Ahmed. Guys, love to take questions on YouTube. I want to let you guys know, whoever is watching, if you say hello, I will see you. If you don't say hello, I just know that you're watching, then I don't know who you are. So I can't really take your name. I can't say thank you to you. Skadoosh says, what's with the mustache? I don't know. I don't even understand that question. The mustache is the mustache. All right, guys, everybody who's here, welcome. Let's take some questions on Instagram and on YouTube. Somebody makes a comment. Okay, so Careful Consumer 8682 says, he mentions a few developers, developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, are getting big on Dubai land. Time will tell who moved out there, since no metro until at least 2029. Okay, what does that mean? Glad you know me now. Yes, glad I know you, MS Ansari. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I am absolutely delighted to see you all here. Ikam, Chaudhry, Sanaullah Zafar, Rose Garden, Bilal Hafiz, Elegant, Ehsan. Guys, love to get questions from you guys that I can answer. I'd love to answer questions, okay? So if you want to engage, ask, go ahead. Ellie, you said something that I missed, okay? Ikama Hamid says, I mean the location. So here's the thing. I'll tell you something. if you guys send me some questions while I was not live, I was not presenting, I've missed them. So you've got to send the questions again, okay? So please, if I've missed your question, please kindly send them again, okay? Ehsan, Laila, Ikam, Rose Garden. Please, guys, send me the questions again so I can happily answer. I wanna take this guy's question up. Somebody talks about developers who've moved out to Dubai land and then says time will tell who moved out there since no metro until at least 2029. Listen, while the metro is super important because it allows connectivity and commuting for a large number of people across Dubai and across communities, you've got to remember that the metro is not everything with regards to a community. Why? Let me explain to you. We've had tons of communities out there like Arabian Ranches, Motor City, Sports City. All of these communities did not have metro stations or metro connectivity in the beginning, yet these communities actually thrived. Like a lot of people who used to come from abroad used to choose these communities for their vibrancy, easy location in and out. It used to allow them X number of benefits with respect to livability, rental ability, and so on and so forth. So I would even fathom to say that you are not perhaps you could be new to Dubai, so you don't understand perhaps all the dynamics. Okay, I see your favorite Rania on TikTok sending me a like and a heart, I think. Hello, Rania. How are you? Rania, do you have a question that I can answer? Okay, Ehsan, Ikam Ahmed asks a question. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. How can a beginner... So, let me answer. Listen, maybe I jump around a little bit but sometimes if I see a quick question, Amir, I'm coming to your question, okay? Ikam Ahmed says, how can a beginner can get into real estate field has good contacts? Okay, simple. I'm going to give you... Okay. First of all, if you're really dedicated to get into real estate, you will be okay, guys. You will be okay. You're not going to have any problems, okay? What you need to do is, essentially speaking, first of all, decide. I want to go into real estate. Real estate, just like anything else, is not for the weak-hearted. It's not for the faint-hearted. Let's say, for example, today you decided, I'm going to go to business school and I'm going to get a degree in marketing. Let's just assume international marketing or finance. Do you think that it's for the faint and weak-hearted? No, you've got to commit, decide, start the journey, and give it your full. Now, you won't be an expert in the beginning, but you will get there. It's the same thing as choosing to live in a certain country, choosing a job, choosing a life partner. You've got to decide. Don't be uncertain. Decide, commit. You will feel the click. Unfortunately, for those who are uncertain, what can I tell you? Anu, do you have a solution for those who are uncertain? Think again. Okay, good idea. Think again. Put it on paper. Reach that place of certainty. Once you reach that place of certainty, before you reach that place of certainty, make dua. Ask God. Oh God, please help me. Please guide me, right? Reach that place of certainty and start. Now, when you start in real estate, I'm going to give you something very simple. You should every day decide that you are going to meet 10 new people. How? It doesn't matter how. You've got to get out there and meet them. At the bus stop, at the events, at the conferences. Ask other friends for 10 new contacts. Now, every day, if you add 10 contacts, what's going to happen? At the end of the month, you're going to have 300 contacts. At the end of the year, you're going to have 1,400. 300 into 12? 3,000. 3,600 contacts. Looks like I'm the only one doing math in this room, okay? You can have 3,600 contacts. Do you understand that you can easily close deals when you have 3,600 contacts? Does that make sense? Same thing applies to if you're getting a degree in marketing, if you're choosing a life path, a life partner, employment, whatever it is. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ask God for help. Get certainty and go down. And the basic thing for you to get contacts is, essentially speaking, decide that you're going to add 10 people to your database every day. Just don't even go home until you do that. Okay? Don't go to bed. Tell yourself, I'm not going to sleep until I do that. Okay? Amir M. Malik asks, what do you think about Dubai South? Very good. Good place. The government's going to be investing about 100 billion plus in that new airport and development. I imagine that that's going to be good news, right? It's Ehsan Al-Kareem asks, Salam. So, Ikam Ahmed, did I answer your question? Can you commit to this? It's basically, if I decided that I'm going to be fit in 6 months and, I decided that I'm not going to go to bed until I, let's say, walk 6 kilometers. If I do that, I'm going to be pretty fit in 6 months, right? That's it. It's simple. Okay? Ihsan Al-Kareem asks, Salam, can you tell us about your humble beginnings, how you start your career? How did you work in your first years? How did you network and how did you generally get better in your work? Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. I can give you a little bit of a background on how I got started, what happened. Everybody here who's here, welcome. Shiza, Ikam, Daddy Jamil, Anjana, Wadi Fari, Sanka. Basically, essentially speaking, first of all, I could say in 2005, I got into real estate by happenstance, okay? Somebody approached me and said, hey, can you do some consulting work in real estate in Toronto, Canada? And I was in business school. I had graduated business school, one of the good business schools in Canada. And then I ended up doing some consulting work. And I realized that real estate is quite interesting. It's quite exciting. It was more in line with my nature. And then Dubai boom was happening. I got involved in a little bit in the Dubai boom. My father was in real estate-ish, kind of. He's originally an architect engineer, worked with the government of Dubai, but he was helping a mid-tier developer at that time with work around Dubai. When I moved back to Dubai and got involved with him, in 2009 I got involved with a friend. 2008 I got involved with my mentor, who we started a company with, okay? But I didn't know a lot about real estate, okay? It wasn't until 2009 and then 2013, up until 13 when I started really getting into real estate. There was a period as well in 2008 where we invested in some properties with my mentor. Those properties didn't really do well because we didn't know what we were doing, to be honest with you, okay? But with regards to being an agent or broker, helping people buy and sell or developing expertise, one of the things was that I was pretty certain about going into real estate. And once I went in, I did not want to look back, okay? And then I wanted to just absorb information, experience from all avenues and all aspects. Here's the thing. Too many people, bless all of you, come into real estate trying to make it big very fast. I want to do the same thing. Like, I wanted 1 million dirhams in my first year. I wanted 2 million dirhams and so on and so forth. And that's not to say you won't get success. You will get success. You might not get 1 million dirhams, or you may, if you're ready for it. The point is, people are very willing to make a lot of money very fast, but they're not willing to put in the time to learn. It's kind of like, look at the professional football players, the professional cricket players, the professional runners. They've got an entire pedigree of leading up to their international career where they go global, right? They put in the training, they put in the work, they put in a lot of learning. Then when they go, we call it when they go professional or international, let's say they're playing international games with other international, there's a lot of learning still to happen. So once you even go full time into real estate, you've got to do a lot of learning. If you pick up these books, both these books have names of mentors in them, okay? So you might not know this, but so for instance, this book was written in 2016. This book was written in 2016. Jalal Masumi, warm greetings from Germany. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. This warm greetings to you too. Hadi, assalamu alaikum. Shakhbarak. Look, this book was written in 2016. But the people I've thanked over here, Samir Munshi, one of my mentors, short-term mentor, but learned a lot in a short period of time. Maruf Qazi, Sheikh Abdul Basit. Do you know who the Sheikh is? Sheikh, this guy. Yeah. Ahmed Rafiq. Owais Hussain. Claire Mahoney. Sufyan Houthi. Sufyan was from a different industry. But it was a lot of mentors who helped. So you've got to continue working with them. Do you understand? So you keep learning, Ikram. Ihsan. Okay. Warm greetings. Bismillah. I see your question, follow-up question. Give me a second. Amir asks, thank you. And can you tell me, if you have to start as a beginner, how would you start your first week, first month? What you will not be doing and you will be doing. So this one's the simple thing. Okay, I can do this. We can make a video on this as well. Amir, I'm going to answer this. Okay, guys, this is worth video. Okay, I imagine you're asking me starting out as a real estate agent. The first week and the first few months, here's what I would do. Okay, I would organize myself. First of all, you block your time. Okay, mornings are no meetings. Okay, from 9 a.m. to let's say 1 p.m. Stick to a routine every day in your office or outside. Your job is to lead generate. What does lead generation mean? It's essentially speaking, adding 10 plus contacts to your database every day. How do you get access to these? You call your friends, you call your family, you go to events, you go to conferences, you go to a bus stop, you go to a bar, not a bar, but a coffee house, a supermarket, give your business card everywhere, in the elevator, so on and so forth. That's your first thing that you must do. Then you must visit 10 properties per week. 10 properties per week. Go to a developer, go to a friend's property, go to any property that you need to go and visit. You must do 10 properties or more per week, okay? Try to get some listings, try to get some buyer listings, try to help other brokers who are senior to you. Allow them to be, you should try to be their assistant, allow them to mentor you, and that's how you get started, okay? There is a video online. There's 3 things that you should be doing. Fix your life. Okay. So yeah, so first week, first month, quit all your bad friends. Don't do any late nights. Okay. You have to be in the office 7:30, 8 o'clock doing your planning. Okay. And 9, you hit the road running. You don't come into the office like other agents come at 10 a.m. Like, don't compare yourself to that agent who's been working in Dubai real estate for 6 years. That guy doesn't need to come at 8:30 anymore because his clients are chasing him. You need to be there at 7:30. You don't have that luxury right now, okay? 9 o'clock, you hit the road running, start talking to people, calling people, setting up meetings. 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., you're out in the field again, okay? You're meeting people, doing property visits, meeting other agents, sit for a coffee with the client, and then 6 p.m. later, you just kind of like hit it back, come back to the office. You don't go home. Okay, Amir, did that help? Bismillah. Okay, it's Ehsan Al-Karim says, prices are at an all-time high where many off-plan prices are now more expensive than secondary. As an agent, what sector do you reckon we should be working on? Secondary or off-plan? It's a tricky question. There's 2 parts to this. You can choose one area and then focus on that area. Or you can choose to focus on the client and their requirement. And I'll explain this to you, okay? Imagine, I don't know how this would... Okay, so you could, like for instance, and both give you success, okay? I'm not going to say one way is better than the other way. Imagine that there is a young gentleman who decides to focus in the villa area in Jumeirah Park, okay? And he's got a friend or family that comes. Jumeirah Park is pretty much completed. There isn't a lot of off-plan projects coming in over there. And he's got friends and family coming in. And they say, look, they don't want to buy a property with all the money down now. They want something off-plan. What should he do? He has a choice. He can say, look, I don't do off-plan. I don't get into all the other developers that are selling off-plan. I can just put you in touch with my friend or colleague and tell his friend or colleague, like, here, handle my friend and just give me a referral fee. Or he could actually say, you know what, I'm going to take you and help you buy a great off-plan villa from one of the other top-tier developers. I personally think you should be servicing them. Number one, they're your friend. Why should you pass them on to somebody else? But then some people decide not to do that. They're like, you know what, I only do Jumeirah Park. I live there. I focus there. I don't want to look at anything else. And that's okay. But my suggestion is that you've got a client who wants off-plan. They trust you. They want to work with you. Why pass them on to somebody else who might not service them the same way? Yes, I understand if you're very busy in Jumeirah Park, okay? So, the question is now, where should you focus? The focus is, where does the client? How can you service your client? Now, I understand perhaps you don't go way beyond out of your category. Like, you know, if you're working in the 5 million plus villa category and somebody wants an apartment at 1 million, you can just easily, and in that case, you can say no to them. But in that scenario is okay because they are not your client. But generally, otherwise, I think do both, okay? Try to learn both. Even if in the beginning, you're only focused on one, okay? Hope that makes sense, Ehsan. Please explain if I was able to explain to you what I was trying to explain to you. Hadi, what's your question? You're here. You're saying salam. I'm saying walaikum salam. Amir says, 921 no meetings, lead generation. 10 properties per week, get some listings, help seniors, allow them to mentor you, fix your life, quit friends, quit the bad friends. Don't quit all the friends. Friends are also good. Friends are okay? They can keep friends or no? No? They can. Okay. Good friends. Expired friends. Inspiring friends. Not expired. Expired are gone. Okay, so keep good friends, guys, okay? Just notes, quit friends, be in office at 7 to 7:30, yeah. 1 to 6 p.m. out, 6 p.m. later, back to the office. That's a good summary, Amir. Okay, bismillah. All right, let's take some questions that I have over here, investor questions. Somebody asks, these are questions that I think people would benefit from, okay? What happens if something breaks in my apartment while I'm abroad? Okay, ideally speaking, what should happen for an investor if you own an apartment in Dubai, UAE, could be any of the Emirates, Ajman, Sharjah. If you're not living here, ideally speaking, guys, you should have a property manager or a property management company who you are paying a fee of the annual rent to take care of things that need to be taken care of. Last minute things, so on and so forth. What do you end up doing? If something breaks, it's their job to coordinate with the tenant to get it fixed. And it's pretty easy. It's not complicated. It's pretty simple. If they are locally based, they will be able to do that. Since you're not here, it's going to be very difficult for you to do it. Does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense, okay? Let's answer some questions for agents. If an investor is looking for a quick flip or long-term appreciation, what should you do, okay? It's a very simple thing. You've got to ask your investor, how long do you wish to hold this property? The investor is going to tell you themselves that I wish to flip this property very, very fast. I don't wish to hold on to this property for 9, 10, 12, 20 years. I want to pretty much flip them pretty fast. Sorry for that, Sanka. And then you can get advice or give them advice, okay? Amir asks, do you come live regularly? Yes, on Saturdays. The timings vary. Sometimes it's 11 a.m., sometimes it's 1 p.m. It depends on other things that are happening. So sorry for not giving you one direct time, but generally speaking, we announce it on YouTube or WhatsApp, and then you will know. Okay, another question for investor. I've never been to Dubai. Which areas are actually good for investment? Which area? I'm going to tell you. So the first thing you should do is you should devise your price and your rent and your budget and your lifestyle. Like which area is good will actually depend on how much you've got in terms of money that you want to spend. Okay, so we've got the residential area. We've got the prime areas, which are downtown, Palm Jumeirah. When we talk about villas, we've got Arabian Ranches, Dubai Hills, Modon, so on and so forth. And then we've got Central areas like Creek Harbor, Mohammed bin Rashid City. Then we've got residential areas. Residential areas have different price points. And then we've got some outskirts, or you could call them like suburbs, right? So it depends on your amount, the amount of money you want to invest, how much you want to invest, and what you're looking to do with the property, so on and so forth, okay? Agent question. Let's take some agent questions since we can help some agents as well. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What if a client is comparing Dubai prices with their home country? How do I explain our market's unique advantages? Common sense. Okay, common sense. It's kind of like comparing the world's top university with other universities in other countries. Like, okay, both are universities, but the degree, the education is different, right? Similarly, Dubai, in terms of what it offers, let's talk about it, right? The safety and security here, right? The connectivity to the rest of the world, the infrastructure, the way the government handles the city, the country in a very progressive, positive way. Recent example, the pandemic, right? While the whole world was getting shut down, Dubai was kind of like more welcoming to the rest of the world. So can you really compare Dubai to other countries? I've had this in 2013. Somebody sold a plot of land in Florida on the sea, and they said, look, why should I end up buying land in Dubai, in this area, which was more like a desert area at that time, and it's 3 times the price to a waterfront property? I don't know, like, think about it, right? How's the crime in your city? How's the connectivity in your city? In Dubai, we've got communities, but then even if you go out of a community is gated here. Amazing. But if you step out of the community, there's literally very little difference. I'm not saying it's no difference. There is a difference. The community might have better landscaping, even more security, more safety. But if you step out, do you still have electricity? Are you still safe in Dubai? Do you still have almost zero crime? Right? It's the same, right? So Dubai gives you this. Can you still use the airport? Can you still connect to the rest of the world? So it's comparing apples and oranges. So I think it's not a good comparison, okay? And you've got to be mature enough to learn this. Like in life, right? I don't know. When you ask me this question, when agents ask this question, the problem is actually not the client. The problem's you. Okay? The problem's you. You are not convinced that Dubai is better. Do you understand this? So people then ask you, oh, is Dubai really better? Like, people don't ask me because I wear the belief that Dubai is better than most of the rest of the world. The UAE is better than most of the rest of the world. I wear it on my sleeve because I actually believe it. Do you understand this? Do you guys understand this? So if you really believe that Dubai is better, people aren't going to really ask you that. But since you are not convinced yourself, you got to really convince yourself, okay? Asks, Salam Fahd, walaikum assalam. What will be the best way to get mortgage on fully paid property? I'll tell you. The best way is to go and talk to a mortgage consultant, okay? Go to Mortgage Finder. You'll find mortgage consultants there. Or you can actually go to one of these guys. What do you call these guys? Any of the banks. I'll explain to you why I'm saying this, okay? Because from what I understand, a year ago or some time ago, the central bank changed some rules and regulations. I am not a mortgage expert, so I can't give you advice that I can stand behind, okay? Does that make sense? So I don't want to give you wrong advice, right? Bismillah. A couple more questions and then we'll be ending our live today. So let's take an investor question, okay? Do I need to pay my property bills in person or can everything be done online? Very easy. Almost 99.8% of the transactions in Dubai can be absolutely done online. You don't even have to come over here. 99.8% transactions can happen in Dubai online. You never need to come over here. Like, this is quite special. I think you can do this with other countries as well. But in Dubai, you can appoint power of attorneys. A lot of the direct properties you buy from developers, you can just work with them directly. You don't have to come here, okay? That's a simple answer. Then it depends on case to case. Straight path. Salam. Walaikum salam. Can an agent change a payment plan for his client if a property is getting sold under distress, like a 60-40 plan getting converted to 40-60 post handover payment plan? Agent can't, because agent's not the end decision maker. The decision maker is the person or the company or the entity that sold you the property, which is the developer. You can always speak to them, and then, or if the agent is speaking to the developer on your behalf, then you can actually get it changed. So it's not impossible. You've just got to ask them. And then if there is any change, then get it in writing. So the simple answer is can be done. By who? It's not the agent, but the agent can be helping you coordinate, or might have a great relationship with the developer. At the end of the day, the payment plan is in something called a sales and purchase agreement document. That sales and purchase agreement is a agreement between the buyer and the developer. So who has the authority to change that? It's the developer. Okay? Makes sense, right? Somebody asked, so an agent question, should I show them Blue Waters or Dubai Marina first? Need to understand, okay, well, you need to understand their life preferences first. Then you show them according to what they want. According to that, you show them the property. So you don't, but I think you should be well versed enough with both these properties. I'll give you an example, okay, guys. If you're working with a buyer on an exclusive basis, or you have a relationship and you really want to make a sale, make a deal, even if you have a property in Dubai Marina, there's no harm in you having some backup properties in Blue Waters. And if a client says, hey, I'd like to see them, then actually helping them see the properties, okay, in Blue Waters. By that time, you would have understood their lifestyle, what they're looking for, so on and so forth, okay? A couple of more questions, guys. If you guys have any questions, please shoot them across. Aichen, Mai, it's Arsenal, Kareem, Bush, White Bush, Rose Garden, Sanka. Hey, guys, if you guys have questions, shoot them across. Okay, can you give me more insight? So this is a question from Itsan Al-Kareem. Says, can you give me more insight on a flipping strategy with a holding time of 12 to 18 months? Which areas are great for this strategy? What price point to look for? And what factors to consider when exiting? Tricky. But if you're looking for a flipping strategy, what you would ideally do is, first of all, you've got to really buy at a lower price. That's one way. Okay. The other way is to look at properties which are generally going up in areas. Okay. So pick an area and see, okay, what's the upward trend on the particular property here. So maybe it was sold at 1.2. Right now they're selling at 1.4 million. So you can maybe estimate that there's a possibility that the property price might go to 1.5, 1.6 million in 12 to 18 months potentially. But the property that's getting sold at 1.4, you can't buy it at 1.4, because if you've got all these costs associated with buying that property, what's going to end up happening is you're not going to be able to sell that property at a profit. So you've got to really buy it at 1.2, 1.3 and hope that it goes to 1.6, 1.7. But here's the thing. You're going to have to buy a good property with a good view, so on and so forth, okay? Ideally speaking, also have cash ready and look for properties where people are semi-distressed. Like you don't necessarily get distressed properties in the market right now, but you can get properties where people are fairly pricing, and just to get rid of the property, you might be able to get somebody who's really interested in selling, okay? So that they will negotiate in earnest. So they might leave you 100,000. I've done this some months ago with my team. Got a property for less than 100,000 than was advertised, and the guy could have easily gotten 200,000 more, okay? But it's just that the guy had money, agent who was managing it knows how to take care of things. We ended up getting the price lower. Okay. Welcome everybody. Guys, listen. We'll be ending soon. Love to hear a question from you guys. Okay, if you guys have a burning question, desire, just send it across to me. I'm gonna have a quick sip of this tea here. Okay, quick sip of my tea. You guys got a question? Please, I'd love to hear your question. Okay. Amr says, how to calculate ROI for a rental amount of a property? It's very simple. Take the amount that you've paid, Amr. So let's say you've paid 1 million dirhams for a property. Okay. And I'm just going to give you like a rough estimate. Okay. And 100,000 is the rent. What you do is you divide 100,000 by 1 million. You will get something which is 10%. 10% is your gross rental yield. Okay, this is not called ROI, it's rental yield. Okay, rental yield, some people call ROI. Okay, so that's fine as well. Now 10% is your rental yield. Now if 1 million was the buying price, but you paid extra money for the closing transactions, which was 6%, okay, then your buying price was not 1 million, it was 1,060,000, right? Does that make sense? Okay. My math is good, yeah? So your buying price was 1,060,000. Now, if your buying price was 1,060,000 and your rent was 100,000 minus service charges, 70,000 dirhams, now you will get 70 minus divide by 1,060,000. The original one that I told you 10% was gross rent, but let's say, okay, 70 is too much. Let's say your net rent is 85,000 after the service charges. 85,000 divide by 1,060,000. Yeah, it's about 8%. Okay, does that make sense? Was I able to explain and help you understand in a clear fashion? Right? I hope I was able to explain to you in a clear way. Okay, Amr? Good. Guys, Ehsan, I've answered your question as well. There is no questions. Prices. I actually answered your question, Ehsan. All right. I don't see any more questions coming through, guys. Thank you very much for being on this live. I appreciate the time and effort you've spent today. Jazakallah khair. Yes, perfectly. Ellie Gent says hi. Hi to you as well. Guys, listen. Love the questions. I do lives on Saturday. We might introduce another live maybe on a weekday afternoon, late evening. We can have a discussion. I'm happy to help agents, Bismillah, do better. May Allah make things easy for you guys. What do you think about investment in RYM, Rashid Yachts and Marina? It's a good place to invest, I believe. Look at what you're buying. Inshallah, it'll be good. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Everybody who's joined in on this live, I really appreciate. Thank you so much. Some of you sent questions. Some of you did not send questions. Welcome, everybody. Guys who's joined in late. Sanafad, Rose Garden, Sankha, Abisri, Ehsan. Love to hear questions. Generally speaking, lives on Saturday. We might introduce another live on a weekday. See you guys soon. Bismillah. Thank you very much for joining and giving your support. Bye for now. You both might have a different viewpoint. Our job is going to be to bring you both in a way together to make the best investment decision.
You know, sometimes the time is right when the time is right. He is somebody I met in 2017. He always wanted to start with an investment in the Dubai market. And 2024 is what it was for him. He, along with another friend of his, wanted to really take a look at the Dubai market again and really start investing. So what we ended up doing is have them sign up on the Dubai Wealth Builder program. And it's a little bit of a challenge trying to get two friends who might think alike, can also think differently sometimes. Him and both of his friends were then escorted along into a strategy session. We then went on to help them virtually select properties, qualify based on the criteria that we established. One of them then visited Dubai. We went physically to see the properties, the different showrooms, and get a feel of the areas and the locations. so that we could then make better decisions. The process took about maybe a month to 2 months, but the good thing is they win by getting the best property. Dubai wins by getting a great customer, great client. We win because we get to service them, and the real estate market in Dubai wins overall.